Welcome to the 2016 TW Steel Heavy Enduro Championship. We're here at Milton Keynes. Chris Carter has already been crowned the champion, of course, and as such he's going to sit this one out, but there's still plenty at stake. Tomek Zalstovic will want to go out and confirm himself as vice champion with a win, but it is wet out there, very wet. Rain has been falling throughout the night, and that might bring some of the super heavy drivers into contention, of course, because they're the super heavy drivers. They're carrying a bit more weight, and that certainly plays a part in these conditions, so watch out for those guys. Let's see what they have to say before the start of the race.
Can you stay ahead of Tomek?
Don't know. I didn't in the practice, did I? So I had too many mistakes and getting myself all het up just in practice. So I've got to keep calm and just give it a go, see what happens.
Good luck.
I was very modest from town, just for practice, yeah. Best qualifying in a wet so far for me. Really feels great. It's wet and cold. I can't feel my fingers really. But yeah, looking forward to the race, especially starting on P2. So good.
Hopefully it'll stay wet. If it dries, I think I'm in trouble because of my weight, just getting out of the corners. Pugh and Zalstovic are just pulling away from me coming out of 8, but Tom's very quick. Tom Pugh, that is very quick, but he keeps spinning, so hopefully that might give me a chance. But yeah, third place is good. I'm quite happy with that.
And well, Jake, it's an hour's race. It's possible that the conditions are going to change throughout. We might have more rain, then the track might start to dry up. So, as you said to me before we went live, it is a lottery.
Yeah, it's getting very greasy at the moment as well. The rain is starting to get fairly heavy out on the circuit. It's that fizzly rain that comes through rather than a pure downpour, so this is going to be really tricky for the karts on slick tyres, but we're getting ourselves ready for the action, and we go green, and it's a great start from the front there from Pugh with Tomek on the outside going very wide indeed, down into about 4th position, and there's 2 spinners at the back up and over the curbs. Now that looks to me as though it's Martin and Newton who have gone together. They managed to get themselves back on the circuit, no problem, but up at the front I think Pugh has been able to maintain the advantage as they go into turn 4 for the first time. Very tricky on this opening lap, and we've even got a couple of drivers' hands in the air as they struggle for grip, but it looks to me as though already Tomek has managed to fight his way back into 2nd position. He's going on the outside line to try and defend the place, and he's got there, so a bit of a lackluster start, but he's certainly got himself back where he needs to be.
Yep, Tomek Zalstovic in 2nd. Of course, holding on to the lead there was Tom Pugh. Now, of course, this is the time. Oh, yellow flag's out. And, well, who's that that's gone off?
Well, no, it's Munro, actually, who's leading. My apologies. We thought it was Pugh, but Pugh has dropped a long way back, down to 7th position, in fact. So the pole sitter has had a bit of an issue, and we've already got warnings for 2 of the karts. That is the 108 of Lee Whitney, would you believe, and Tom Pugh, the 106, for bumping.
At the front, though, Tomek Zalstovic has closed down Chris Munro, and is he going to try and move up the inside into the left-hander? They go into the penultimate corner, and briefly out of our view in the commentary box, they are side by side. Now they both take the inside line up towards the last corner here. I have a feeling Tomek might go to the outside.
And the leading super heavy in the points, we've got the battle going on for 3rd position at the moment as Daly and Whitney jostle for position. I think that's Whitney going through to move up into 3rd position. Daly coming back at him as they go onto the far side of the circuit. Everybody looks as though we've got an overtaking move in the top 6 as well, but interestingly Tomek has lost a lot of time to Chris Munro on this lap, so Munro has got himself a bit of space, and interestingly they're both trying different lines to put the position the car around the circuit. The battle for 3rd position getting very shaky, and that's a spin. Now that looks to me like it's Daly that's pirouetted around and has dropped back 2-3 places. Couple of karts going with, so already tricky battle in the 3rd position rankings, and they're side by side for 3rd again as round the outside. That was an incredibly bold move.
It down. 54 minutes to go. Jake, quite a move.
Yeah, great battle between Daly and Pugh as they squabble away for 6th and 7th place. I think Pugh has actually got past Daly to move up into P6. Daly coming straight back at him. These 2 are holding each other up as they squabble away for 6th place. They need to start overtaking the karts in front of them to really get themselves back into contention. Daly has now dealt with Pugh and is starting to get on terms with Vinod Hirani, and that is exactly what he needs to be doing. He needs to get rid of Tom Pugh and start working his way through the pack. Vinod Hirani is going to be the first driver to overtake, but he's no slouch, so that's going to be a really tricky overtake. Meanwhile, 3rd position is now is that a 3-way tussle for 3rd, or is that now 4th position up for grabs? And it's still, I think that is Hirani desperately trying to hang on there in front of Daly and Pugh, who are squabbling all over the back of him now. Munro comes through into the final section of the lap. Tomek is not really pushing him too hard here. He's being very careful here, Tomek. He's staying with him, but he's not throwing caution to the winds, which is a very sensible move. It's Pugh who comes through on this lap in 5th position. Daly in 6th, so they've both got past Vinod Hirani.
Those mistakes now. We're always out of spin for Lee Whitney.
It is.
Lee Whitney's had a spin. Oh, and he almost came into the path of Adam Daly, I think that was.
Here come our 2 leaders, Munro and Zaustovic, into the right-hander, the slowest corner on the circuit, and Tomek throws the kart in further to the apex, grabbing a lot more grip on the outside line. This is where it's going to start to play into Tomek's hands here, more than perhaps Chris, because he's now been able to sit on Chris's gearbox. He knows where he's strong, he knows where Chris is strong, and he'll be able to start working a little bit of a formula in his head as he goes around as to where he can chip away at the time and put Chris under pressure. And if I'm Tomek, I don't want to make an overtaking move on him. I want to sit right on the gearbox, put him under pressure and make Chris blink. I want him to make the mistake. So that's what Tomek is doing. Chris Munro, he looks over his shoulder. He knows that Tomek is right on him, but he is going to go for it. He is going to go up the inside. He looks to his left as if to psych out Chris. I love that. He was going through the corner. He wasn't looking in front of him. He was looking at Chris. You're going to move over and let me through, sunshine. That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah, when it's wet like this, everything happens 10 times slower than it usually does. So he had plenty of time to look over and see what was happening with Chris Munro, but on board was Zaustovic then. And now we have a clear track ahead of us as we head down towards turn number 8. So, well, Tomek is taking him how many laps? Let's see. Well, it's taken him 15 minutes for Tomek to take the lead. And now he is in head, now down towards this left-hander for the first time in the lead. Oh, well, up the inside comes Chris Munro then, but not enough grip for him to go through. So Tomek's still leading as they go down to the right-hand hairpin. How far back is Tom Pugh? Well, he's just under 5.5 seconds back, but Chris Munro back in the lead then. And so just over 15 minutes gone. We have Munro in the lead. Zaustovic is second. And in 3rd place, and catching the 2 leaders, new fastest lap for Tom Pugh. He's only 1.5 seconds back.
Yeah, and that's why Tomek is actually shaking his head there. He knows he needs to get past Chris Munro because he knows that coming up behind them both quickly is Tom Pugh, and he's got to get on with this and find a way past Munro to try and get away from him. But fair play to Chris Munro. That was a brave overtaking move to throw it up the inside in there at turn 9 and then to hold it through the tight hairpin, and that is really giving the race on an opportunity knocking here for Tom Pugh, because that's backed them both into Pugh. He's getting there slowly and surely, but he's going to have a frustrating afternoon because frustrating morning, sorry, because he's going to run out of time. Here comes Pugh up the inside of Tomek, and Tomek is going to have to concede that one. Pugh goes through in a 2nd position. This is a heart-stopping moment for Zaustovic because he knows that Pugh is now going to be the best placed driver to have a go at Chris Munro. He could mug them both here.
He could indeed, but Tomek trying to come back up the inside of Tom Pugh. It's not going to make it. It's the inside line that seems quicker at that last corner.
Down the bottom of the hill, these 3 still nose to tail. Munro from Pugh and Zaustovic, but it looks as if Pugh has got a great exit out of that tight left-hander. He's going to go straight past him on the straight and through into the lead for the first time comes Tom Pugh. Well, certainly the first time since he started on the front row. Munro's going to try and come back at him. Is he into the right-hand hairpin? There's not a lot of room to manoeuvre, but he is going to give it a go. And I think he's going to just fail that one. Yes, he has one more look into the final turn. He's got to bail out of it. But going for that move is going to back him into Zaustovic once again. So Tomek has got an opportunity here to move up into 2nd place.
Further back, I was watching the battle between Chris Paverdi and Blaise Sienko. And just as Sienko got through, he had a spin about 2 corners later.
We got 2 of them off. That's Daly. That's Daly that's gone there, sorry, with Tommaso Amendola. Amendola had caught him up. And it looks as though both Daly and Tommaso Amendola spinning their karts. They managed to get it going again. It's up the inside. Munro throws it, and that's put Zaustovic wide on the curb. But somehow Tomek has been able to hold on to that battle on the outside line and hold that 2nd place. As we've got a great battle further back as well. That is between Paverdi and Sienko, and they both got off. They've both gone together. So that's Sienko who spun it around, I think. But it's a really big scrap between those two as they continue to squabble around the circuit. That seems to be the danger zone, that penultimate hairpin as they come through together. Now, who is it that's been able to get out of that one in reasonable speed? It's actually Sienko who's ahead of Chris Peabody. So Peabody was the one who really came off worse of those two, and he's not going to be happy about it. Meanwhile, Tommaso Amendola has got himself on the back of Daly. It's difficult to know where to look at this point. The race is really spicing up as Amendola again tries to make his opportunistic move. Oh wait, that's Pugh. That's Pugh down in third. Pugh is down in third. We didn't see what happened to Pugh, so we'll have to go back and have a look at it. Let's see what happened to Pugh.
He puts his hand up.
His hand up, so he's obviously not happy about something. As we look back, that is how Tomek Zaustovic and Chris Monroe managed to get themselves back into first and second place. And it looks to me as though Tom Pugh is not going to be happy about that, as Monroe again throws it up the inside of Tomek Zaustovic, back on the race action down towards turn 5, and Monroe having to back out of that chase. But Pugh, all that hard work undone. He's not got it all his own way yet.
Will we see Amendola come up the inside in towards turn number 4? No, well, no, he's alongside, and Amendola is through. So a good move there from Amendola, Jake.
Yeah, Amendola picked his braking point to the absolute millimetre. The kart was a little bit sideways, very wayward. And he is running wide again. Daly's back on the inside. This is a great battle. They bang wheels, and Daly is up the inside into turn 6. Amendola has to back out of it. Those two squabbling away. They're hemorrhaging time to the leaders in front of them, but they're having an absolutely magnificent battle. Here comes Monroe on the inside of Pugh to defend that second place. Pugh is trying to come back at him. In terms of one lap pace, you have to say the fastest man on the circuit in this race is Tom Pugh. Pugh is quicker on the straights. Monroe has more grip and speed in the bends.
Yeah, Tom Pugh struggling to make a move stick here, but he's back through once again then. He's just got to try and pull a gap in the next couple of corners, then he can go after Tomek Zaustovic. Let's see if he can hold on. Oh, he runs very wide into the right-hand hairpin, and I think he may have lost a place. Once again, he has.
Pugh again tries to get a good line off the exit of turn 4. Oh, they actually bang wheels this time. Monroe holds the inside line, cutting back on the exit. Pugh is up on the curbs, desperate to try and get back on the inside of Chris Monroe, but it is a stalemate between these two. We've got a spin. I think that might be Newton, who the leaders have just lapped, that has managed to lose the cut. The question is, when he closes up on Zaustovic, is there going to be another? That's Amendola and Daly. Oh, and they've actually collided there with Sienko. Sienko got a massive boot in the side there from Daly. He's back up the inside, and Sienko is nudged wide. They're tapping each other. This is getting to be a bit of a boxing match between these two now, as Sienko has to get the position back again, and it's the 109 that gets a warning there for curbing Richard Newton from a little bit earlier on in the proceedings. But those two, Sienko versus Daly, well, that was a heavyweight contest worthy of Vegas, that one. Pugh's going to get a great exit out of turn 8, and they're going to be absolutely neck and neck as they come up and over the crest, and they are side by side. Pugh is on the inside line, desperately trying to cut it. He has to bail out, but if he cuts back for the undercut, he might be able to get some speed over Tomek. No, Tomek holds him up. He had better speed, better grip, but he has to give best to Tomek on the way through, and now he's back up the inside for the right-hander, up the hill towards the final turn, and he's through. Tomek has to back out of it into the braking zone, and look at the sliding through that final bend for both of them. They're wrestling the steering wheel, and it's an amazing move from Tom Pugh there into the penultimate hairpin, but it's not over yet because Tomek definitely feels like he can get him back once more. Meanwhile, we've got a great battle going on here as Tomek is trying to lap one of the slower karts, and that is, well, they're up amongst the battle with 8th position, actually, the leaders. Tom Pugh has lapped Daly, is approaching Tommaso Amendola, and as a result of being held up now, Tomek Zaustovic. Now, who is it that's got him held up there? That is Chris Peabody, who held him up, and that has backed Tomek Zaustovic into Chris Monroe again. So once again, he's got all of this hard work to do to try and hold off Chris Monroe, but this is a game changer for Tom Pugh. He's been able to get a couple of corners away from Tomek Zaustovic. This is an opportunity for Tom Pugh to run away and take it. But we've got ourselves a really intense battle for second place, because Monroe is now in front of Tomek Zaustovic after their battle through the traffic, and Tomek Zaustovic is getting very annoyed very quickly here as they battle away. And meanwhile, Tommaso Amendola is about to get the blue flags on him.
Oh, he's had a spin.
Oh yes,
he's had a spin at turn 2.
Okay, so
and he's in the barriers
that's
now.
Amendola. Yes, Amendola has lost the position to Adam Daly now, and oh my goodness me, that is the most painful way to lose it. With literally only 2 minutes on the clock, we were commending Amendola for his calm and composure, and obviously I've just jinxed him. That is an absolute disaster for Amendola. All that hard work and that charismatic drive to get away from Adam Daly, and now Daly is back through, having just allowed Whitney to lap him, and that's put Daly back into 8th position in front of Amendola. That is heart-wrenchingly cruel.
He's pushing so hard. He doesn't need to.
He's absolutely romping it. If he drops it now, it's going to be the worst defeat in history. But he is romping like
Don't say that.
No. But he's absolutely romping away out in front and driving it like he's Gilles Villeneuve in a Ferrari at the moment. And into the final corner for the final time. It's a very satisfying moment indeed for Tom Pugh, who wins an amazing race. What a way to round off his 2016 campaign. And he spins! He spins after the flag as well. Well, that's not quite a donut, but I'll tell you what, he absolutely
He'll
deserves
say
it.
he meant that.
Yeah, he'll say that was on purpose.
No way, I'm not going to believe that.
Well done to Tom Pugh, pushing it right to the death. Chris Munro, though, fair play. 2nd position today. What an achievement for Chris Munro, ahead of Tomek Zaustovic
And
in
a
3rd
personal
place.
best on the last lap.
Yep, he did at 1:31.239 on the very last lap of the race. Good drive from Whitney in 4th position. Adam Nakar is going to come through for 5th place from Blaise Sienko in 6th ahead of Vino Dirani. Adam Daly through to 8th position. Heartbreaking for Tommaso Amendola. He really could have had that battle finished off in fine style. Chris Pebbody rounds up the top 10 ahead of Gary Martin, Robert Pertak and Richard Newton.
Tomek, you're battling for the lead for a long period of that race, but where do you think it kind of fell away for you?
Hard to say, to be honest. I think those guys were just much quicker. But yeah, I have to say it's a fantastic race. I think all 3 of us were at some point leading the race. So yeah, it just couldn't be better. Dicing places. And personally, I have to say, it's my best result in a wet so far. So I'm more than happy with that. Just couldn't be better. And I really enjoyed it, it's been really cool, yeah.
And a podium, 2nd in the championship, good way to finish the season?
Yeah, which is great as well. I think I haven't finished Enduro champs on 2nd place before, so yeah, it's again personal best. Just trying to move forward, learn more and more, and it's still as I feel it's still a steep learning curve for me, like in those conditions as today, wet driving. So yeah, just couldn't be happier today.
Well done, mate. Well done. It's been nice watching you throughout the season, and 2nd place. How about that?
5 years I've been doing the DMAX Endurance. That's the first overall podium. So, and now I'm going to retire. Or might keep going. I don't know.
Where did it come from? You're a surprise package.
It's raining. I love Milton Keynes in the wet, and and I sort of when I got up this morning, I opened the curtains, and because I wasn't sure I was going to come, and I hadn't entered, and then I thought, right, it's raining, I've got to come and see what I can do. It's a little bit disappointed to qualify 3rd, to be honest. And then when I got into the lead early on, I thought I knew Tom was going to have a lot of pace once he got back. He obviously had a bit of a spin at the beginning, I think, and but once he got going, I thought he's going to come back to us. And then the pair of them went by, and as much as I love it in the wet, just my size, I think I'm about 112 kilos today. So coming out of turn 8, I just go off, disappear up the hill. So a little bit frustrating, but I like donuts and pies too much. So but last few laps, 10 laps or so, I thought just try. I had a big gap to 4th, so I thought I'll just try and push a little bit harder, see if I can catch Tomek, and it worked, and got by him, and I allowed myself a little look on the last lap and see I had a decent enough lead, and I'm sort of relaxed then. So yeah, really pleased.
Well done. It was it was great to watch Tom win. Yeah, and you looked very, very comfortable in the wet conditions. After a bad first lap, you did very well to win by that margin.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's the wet's good. It is good, and I've been coming here years, so I know the track like the back of my hand. This is my local one, so yeah, pleased and happy. Some of the drivers out there were at the beginning were a bit funny, it smacked off. I think I went down to about 7th and then come back again. But yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and I was my own worst enemy a few times as well because I had a few spins and stuff. But yeah, no, it's a good race.
Well done. Are we going to see you back next year?
Definitely, yeah. I'm going to do the whole championship next year as well. So yeah, because my boy's doing the lights, so I'm going to do the heavies, and we'll travel around the country. It's going to be great fun, and I recommend it to anyone as well. Because it's good.
One to watch. It'd be good to see your son as well.
Okay.
Well done, mate. See you next year. That concludes racing here at Daytona Milton Keynes. If you'd like to race with us next year for what is set to be the best DMAX championship in history, we're going to PFI, Buckmore, Shennington, Wilton, Clay Pigeon, plus all the Daytona tracks. Don't miss out. Visit our website or call this number to get involved.